Hello everybody and welcome to FinTech Futures. We are here today at day 2 of Money 2020 Europe in Amsterdam. My name is Tyler Paith. I'm a reporter for FinTech Futures, and today I'm very pleased to be joined by Otto Benz. Otto, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you. It's great to meet you and to have this quick discussion with you. I know you've got a very busy agenda ahead. Before we get going on our discussion and more into why you're attending the conference this year, why don't you give our viewers a little bit of a breakdown of who you are, what your position is, and what your company is, please?
Fantastic. So I'm Otto Benz. I'm Director of Payments at Nationwide. Nationwide is the UK's largest building society, and we have a wide range of products in the financial services space, but mainly current accounts, savings and mortgages. And I look after all the payments processing for Nationwide. Cash, checks, all the legacy stuff, more interesting stuff, faster payments, backs, traps, and open banking, and all the fun stuff too.
That is very interesting, and yes, it's a pleasure to have you here, as I said. Most notably because you're due on stage quite soon, I believe, to talk about AI in multi-cloud architectures. Now, this is very exciting. It's a leading topic, not just at Money 2020 this year, but across the industry of what I'm seeing. Can you tell us, from your perspective, is this a technology match made in heaven?
Well, it's interesting. I think both of the elements have real potential, but for us, we push forward more at the moment on cloud computing, and a lot of our reason for using cloud is around resilience, particularly on payments processing. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to look at the opportunity to use AI alongside that to see what advantages it can make. And I think, we're making some interesting steps in that process. So it could be a match made in heaven. I'm not sure yet.
Well, I think that's a positive answer. You've got a really good mindset by the sounds of it, and with Nationwide's broad service remit, there's really any direction that this could go in. So it's very exciting to hear that you're embracing that technology. In terms of when the cloud meets AI, in terms of one technology interacting with the other and maybe monitoring the other, how can that process be kept both seamless and secure?
It's a good challenge. At the moment, I think we alongside lots of other players in the industry use cloud technology, in the core processing, and AI as part of that. The big space that it occupies is around fraud and financial crime processing. So all of the classic use of AI is in that space. And the way that you then implement on infrastructure, including cloud, clearly that's fine in the sense that that's a known way forward. The space where I think we're less clear and where we need more understanding of the actual use case around the AI environment and how to deploy it is around Gen AI. And the Gen AI type capabilities are, I think, a bit new. So alongside using Gen AI capabilities to assist, the kind of co-pilot world in code development or productivity for users, that space, I think, whether it's on cloud or not on cloud, it doesn't matter. Most of the challenges are around, as you point out, around security, around what are you going to do with the data, how do you make sure that the output of the Gen AI capability is rational. So I think the cloud element of that is less known. It's less clear what happens to our data, our customers' data in that environment, and those are the things that we really need to make sure work properly. I think in the more traditional space, if you like, using AI to help our financial crime, to help prevent against financial crime, that's a space where infrastructurally cloud is the right place to help. And our core payments processing we're developing on cloud. With one of our partners, we're redeveloping our faster payments processing platform with Form 3 on a fully cloud environment. And the AI type capabilities, how we manage those payments, how we understand whether they're from or to potentially fraudulent participants. That's a really important use case. Particularly in the new world in the UK where we have to prevent against authorized push payment fraud. So that's really important for us.
That APP fraud is massive, and it continues to grow, and it's worrying from our perspective within the industry to see these frauds to sort of be like, oh, AI is a really useful tool for lots of things, especially for committing crime. So it's sort of like, as you say, sort of sharpening the blade in a different way and trying to prevent AI being used against you in a way, which is a fascinating, deployment. In terms of Nationwide's embrace of cloud technology within its sort of payments processing, how have you seen your capabilities change? I understand that that's a journey that you're still going on, but is there any indication that you can give where the cloud has been beneficial to your payments processing?
Yeah, two things in particular I'd point out. One is around the ability to scale the infrastructure to cope with increased demand. So, with our new faster payments platform, we've already seen the way that the increased throughput and the increased capability to take on transaction processing volume is significantly better in a cloud environment than it has been on our legacy environment, where the infrastructure needs to be procured and needs to be rolled out. And the other place where I think, maybe not so much cloud, but certainly the style of development that we are implementing around it has meant that we've been able to put in already again this year point releases into the environment without taking it down, without taking it offline, without people noticing. And for us, I think really that's the key thing, the holy grail of payments processing is the fact that you can make change to the environment and nobody notices. Yeah. However much everybody loves to do fun stuff in payments, if it doesn't work, nobody's very happy. No, so being able to do incremental implementations into an environment, without taking it offline and without affecting the large high throughput payments transaction processing is really, really critical.
Because you're serving, I believe, 16 million members at the moment.
Yeah, it's about that. I mean, it represents something like 10% of the current account base in the UK. And we have had a number of bad outages in our faster payments platform previously, and the legacy platform has not been reliable for us. So that's not something that we can really support. We want to be in a space where we provide reliable processing platforms for our customers, and it's really, really critical for us to get this right.
Can we see then, switching over to your use of AI, you've spoken a bit about its fraud application. Is there any other areas where we might see it crop up, maybe in a small bit, maybe in a large bit, within Nationwide services?
Yeah, sure. One area which is outside my domain that we're currently testing and in quite a close to go live environment is around how to help customers who've unfortunately had a bad experience and have complained. So it's a kind of classic utility for Gen AI capability, which seems very promising. So my colleagues are looking at, when, for example, the payments work has gone really badly wrong, I've been unable to facilitate making a payment for one of our members, and they have to complain and ask for redress. Actually, the ability to then go and collate the information and prepare a response that then needs to be looked over by a human before it actually gets sent. It looks really, really promising, and you can get a much better standard of English, much better standard of what went wrong and what are we going to do about it to put it right for you, with some assistance, with some preparatory work, rather than just starting with a blank piece of paper and collecting all the information. So that's really promising. That's in one of our late stage proof of concepts. So hopefully we'll see that. But something that's live for me within the payments world is we've recently gone live with Visa's smarter STIP system, which is STIP stands for stand-in processing. So for our cards platform, when people make payments but our capabilities are not fully functional or we've taken down for maintenance, Visa has traditionally provided a service to stand in for authorizations to keep card payments going. We've gone live actually this month with their AI enhanced service, and it will look more carefully at the customer's individual pattern of payments to provide a better outcome during periods of stand-in. So that's really interesting. We've launched that with Visa, and we're going to see what difference that makes Hopefully not too much, because we're normally processing, so we don't want to use it's one of those resilience things where you don't want to use the capability, but you need it there.
Yeah, I mean, it is important to be supported by these things in the worst case scenario, you know. This conversation so far, you've touched upon areas of fighting fraud, of increasing your service delivery, of ensuring that reliability within your services for your members. And this is all sort of part of Nationwide's digital infrastructure rejuvenation journey.
Yeah.
You know, what other pain points is that journey seeking to overcome?
You've touched on, my domain is mainly the back, right? So the things that you've mentioned are my own domain. If I look more widely at our pain points in our digital experience, there are two things that we're trying to do. One is around enhancing our digital app journey, within our customer experience, to just provide a much better capability for people to use, to transact and to contact. We've spent quite a lot of time removing the dependency on our traditional old-fashioned card reader, and we're now building out our new app, which is out there this year, and hopefully people will, our customers, benefiting from that. And we're trying to put a lot more users front-end capability in that space. And again, in the payments domain, for me, that's about improving things of the information that you have about your payment, how you can recognize it, if you want to query it, if you want to dispute something, the capability to allow people to serve within that environment is significantly enhanced. So those are the things that I'm looking for out of my colleagues' implementations in the digital app. In that kind of dispute space, which I mentioned, we're going to try and improve the way customers can look at what what they've done and have a better experience if they don't recognise the customer's transaction. So that's really important as well.
That's really, really fascinating to have that sort of like really, really in-depth level of oversight into your services and be able to provide that to your customers. I think it's going to be an absolute hugely success, and I look forward to this app launch later this year.
So the app launch is live now.
Oh, is it?
It has been launched. So it's a series of upgrades to the new app which is now live. So that's great.
Yes, well, we shall be waiting hot on heels for those upgrades to arrive. But also, it's been fantastic to speak to you today.
Thank you.
I can't keep you for too long because the stage is calling, and if I can slip away for 5 minutes, we've got a packed schedule today. But if I can, I will come and support you from the
Thank you very much.
But thank you for taking the time to speak with us today.
It's a pleasure.
Fascinating what you're doing at Nationwide, and I hope we can catch up again soon. Thank you for everybody who joined us online. I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Otto Benz just as much as I did. And if you'd like to find out more about Money 2020 Europe this year, Nationwide, and everything else that's going on in FinTech at the moment, please head over to fintechfutures.com. Until next time, goodbye.